Okay, we on. The question of the day is, can the Redskins be an elite defense? After 3 weeks of football, what have we seen? We've seen some pretty stellar defensive play. We actually have. With the addition of DJ Swearinger, I mean, he just changed the whole attitude of the defense completely. And drafting Jonathan Allen, and of course, that's major. And now I think we're starting to see dividends of things we drafted before, like the Fuller guy. Good football player, good as advertised. He was really first round talent that got hurt. Then you had Matt Ioannidis, another guy that was real good, flew under the radar, and it looks like he's panning out. So a lot of this is going on through the draft. And the middle linebacker play, man, of Spates this week, mixed with number 53. I didn't go with notes today. I'm sorry. Next week I'm going back to notes, but I just want to go off the top of the head with the defense. Number 53. I just think that him and DJ Swearinger, those additions were major. So we're starting to see that pay off. Preston Smith in the third year looking good like he's supposed to. Ryan Kerrigan, our Iron Man, he's always there. So you just look at that defense, you look at that front seven, like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a pretty decent front seven. And then, of course, I mentioned DJ Swearinger earlier, and the Nicholson kid from Michigan State. I know when everybody was talking about the draft, they were saying something about him. I don't know if it wasn't playing to his potential or anything, but I think this guy's a gem that we found, and I think all the naysayers are going to hate that this is going to be a guy that when they do the draft over, the redraft, he's going to be higher probably in the draft. Of course, Josh Norman. Breland played a good game himself. The defense, that's the whole defense in a nutshell, man. And those guys we got a different mentality of a defense going on in Washington right now. And I think the world's seen it. I actually saw it in week one. If you go back to the video I just did a few weeks ago, I was saying how good the defense is. And we flew under the radar against the Rams game, but we shouldn't have, because the Rams scored 42 points in both games. And then they played us. It was 20. The defense has been playing good all year, except for the two little missed sacks with Carson Wentz. And he slipped away and threw that touchdown pass, but we might be looking at a 3-0 ball club. And now that Kirk Cousins is getting alive, and we're running the football, it doesn't matter like everybody's saying Mac Brown or Chris Thompson should be in there, but the rookie can absorb that punishment, and he can keep the defense honest. Then our home run hitters like Mac Brown, our home run hitters like Chris Thompson, they won't be injured or carrying that whole weight. He can actually. This is a gem. This is a physical specimen, and he can be carried. He can be handed the ball 18 times or 20 times a game. I mean, yeah, he had that little fumble. He's going to get it right. I think he's going to be a great asset for us in the future. But as the question, though, is can the Redskin defense be elite? I think the Redskin defense is elite. I don't want to go. I think it's going to be an elite defense this year. Barring injuries, I'm loving Matt Ioannidis. I'm loving the rookie Jonathan Allen. I'm loving Preston Smith, Ryan Kerrigan. 53, I don't know why I can't think of your name when I push the record button, but I'm sorry, I will have it right next week. Spates came in this week for Mason Foster. Spates, I always knew when we drafted him that this guy would be nice. And I'm not saying he's better than Mason Foster because I'm not there in practice, but it was something about him and Fuller, that I said, man, once they get healthy and they get in there, it's going to be something special. And I think we seen a glimpse of that yesterday. And that's no knock to Mason Foster or the great Will Compton. Will Compton, I wish I had 10 of him. He's not playing, but Will Compton's like a coach. He's a coach in football pads. That's the bottom line. I guarantee you, I'm going to say this first and we're going to go back to this years later. I guarantee you Will Compton will be a great NFL coach in the future. We're going to go back to this video years later. I might not even be here. Who knows? But it's going to be known that Will Compton is going to be the NFL head coach in the future. And I know I was asking about the defense, but I'm just going to leave it here with the defense. I'm gonna do something else on the offense. But can the defense be elite? I think so. Redskin fans, we got something special, and we did it through the draft. We drafted the Fullers. We drafted the Grants. I mean, not the Grants. We drafted the Allens. We drafted the Ionidases. We drafted the Nicholson guy. We drafted Bree. We drafted all of this stuff that is now coming to play, and then we got the Hosley kid that's coming, and I think he's gonna be Fabian Monroe. I think he's gonna be a star in this league. I mean, we getting back to the draft like we used to do, and I think that we're starting to see dividends of this thing, and we're starting to turn the corner to be a good football team. And I think if the defense continues to play like this, we're definitely going to be a contender, and we definitely can go far if we're running the football and playing defense. It's no doubt that can still win the chip. And I'm signing off. Hell to the Redskins.